All right, looks like we're on the air. Of course, I have to set everything up here. Let me get this set up real quick. All right, looks like we're on the air. Of course. All righty then. Okay, I think I got everything set up. In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what I call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the host or the gatekeeper of this program, known here on social media, wherever you may find me. I am known as the mighty, mighty, mighty Angel Snuff Number 7. I am your soul brother, number 1. Oh man, thank you, thank you. Oh, Mims, you're in the house already. What's going on? What's going on, Mims of Destruction? I would like to send greetings to Mims, those in the chat room, those who are listening now, and those who will be listening later. I thank you. It is always an honor that you would come to this house and allow me to speak to you, because I know that your time is precious. You could be doing other things, and I'm pretty sure there are probably other people that's smarter than me. How you doing there, Maz? Thank you for being in the house, and thank you. Yeah, you're my brother from another mother. Yes, that's right. That's right. We can do this if we want. We can do this if we want. And we're going to have a nice little talk, and we're not going to, hopefully, we don't want to disrespect nobody, and we don't want to commit hate speech. We just want to talk and try to be open and honest with each other. And hopefully, in talking, this type of talking, opening up this type of conversation, maybe before the situation gets really, I mean, it's out of hand anyway. Y'all know the situation, this race thing, whatever, not only in America, but around the earth. People, if it's not race, it's religion. If it's something else, you know, it's always going to be something. We have to, as human beings, we're going to have to get over our differences. We always seem to find these differences, and we go to war and fight over because we want somebody to be like us. That's not how the world works. It's never going to happen. Our planet is diverse. You have a tree. There are many kinds of trees. You have grass. There are many kinds of grass. You're not going to make everybody like you. And look, let me tell you something. It would be very, very boring. I don't want everybody like me. It would be a very, very boring place if everybody looked, talked, and acted and thought like me. What's the sense of making a YouTube video? Everybody think the same. What's the sense of buying clothes? We all wearing the same thing. Who want to live in a world like that? All the dogs look the same. All the rabbits look the same. It's wonderful how this planet is diverse. It is a wonderful thing to be diverse. It's wonderful to have different kinds of thought. This is why we live the way that we do, because somebody had to think outside of the normal train of thought. Come on, y'all. But now we have gotten to the point where we hate each other for being different. I don't like your nose. I don't like your skin color. I don't like the fact that you're a woman. I don't like the fact that you're a homosexual, and the list goes on and on and on. Madness and insanity. We should want diversity. Now, of course, sometimes diversity ain't good. Sometimes being different, instead of being a helper to society or a helper to life, sometimes being different causes death and destruction and the hatred, things of this nature. So we need to find balance in what is right and what is wrong, and we know what it is. The thing about it is we just don't want to do it. It seems as though, to me, it seems like we enjoy conflict. We enjoy confrontation. We enjoy violence. And perhaps after all these years, that's what we've been experiencing for a long time. Not only in America, but throughout human history, nothing but violence, rape, murder, thievery, lying, and all this all over. This is why many people in religion, they embrace the God concept, because this God, they know they can't do nothing about it. So they are hoping that a God, somebody from the outside, could come around and straighten this thing up. But then at the same time, they say they are children of God. And gods grow up. They have their Moshe. I still can't get your name right, sister. It was very nice talking to you. Yes, yes, ma'am. I love talking to you. I'm glad to see you here. And wow, yeah, it's nice. I just wanted to talk to us because my Memorial Day will be very short. My ocean, right? Okay. My weekend is going to be short, so I decided let me go ahead and say a little something because I'm done. I'm done. So my ocean, yes, yes. Okay, so let's get this party started. I don't want to hold us very long because really what I like to say, it can be pretty quick. This, of course, is the beginning of in the United States. In the United States, I don't know if they are doing this around the world, but in the United States, this is Memorial Day weekend where we are supposed to be honoring the persons who fought in the military for our freedom. As a dark-skinned person in this country, they didn't do a very good job for me, you know, for us. They might have fought freedom for those who are in power, the large population. But for those of us who are descendants of slaves born in America, we have not experienced from the military this freedom that everybody is talking about. I have not experienced it, and we've gotten some crumbs. We got certain crumbs, but overall, we have not experienced this freedom that these veterans are supposed to have died and gave their lives for. Not as a citizen in this country. We are not treated as the average citizen or the dominant citizen or the citizens, the original citizen. The original citizens of this nation, of course, were Caucasian Europeans. And during that time, my ancestors was considered and were slaves. It took a long time before they was called slaves and anybody cared anything about their freedom. Now, so this is the sad thing about it. We are given a day off, and when somebody gives their lives, look, when somebody gives their lives for your freedom or to protect your nation or whatever that soldier does, you honor them. That's what we're doing, supposed to be doing in America. But people would be barbecuing, they would be getting drunk, they would be smoking weed, they would be cheating on their wives, they would be cheating on their boyfriends, they would probably be planning to murder somebody, they would probably be planning to murder a soldier. So really, it's the honoring of the day is hypocritical. Really, you getting a day off, and the people really don't have the mentality or the spirit, as they say in religion, to take the holiday serious. These men and women died to serve your nation, and this is how you treat the holiday, by getting drunk and getting high and all kinds of other crazy stuff. How many people will be going to jail for drunk driving? How many people would be going to jail caught with illegal drugs and so forth? On the day you're supposed to be honoring somebody that gave their lives, who is serving in the armed forces that protect you and your nation. How hypocritical. Now for me, I am in celebration of Memorial Day, not in the manner that they are doing it. I am always, matter of fact, it's not a day. There's not a day that goes by that I don't remember the soldiers, those who fought for my right and for my being able to talk to you right now. I remember Dr. King every day. I remember Sojourner Truth and Harriet Tubman and Gabriel Prosser and Nat Turner, and the list goes on and on. These are my veterans. These are my soldiers. And I'm not going to get drunk thinking about them. I'm not going to put reefer in my mouth thinking about them. I'm going to take that memory serious, which I don't smoke and drink anyway. But if I did, on the day of memory, like we're taking the time to remember these soldiers, for my soldier, I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to smoke. I'm not going to get high. That day is dedicated, and I give to those who died so I can be here today. I'm not going to be fake. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. Again, I don't want to keep us long. I just, I just want to talk just a little bit. Now, I want to begin this talk by saying this. In my area, there was a young soul brother. I think he was about 17 or 18. I think he had just turned 18. He was charged this week with threatening somebody at a school. This young soul brother. History shows us, and I knew it's just a matter of time, and chances are he won't be the first. Every time pink Caucasian people do something crazy, we got to copy. Sooner or later, we're going to copy. Because you know, whatever we see Massa do, we want to do. However, for some reason, when it comes to being constructive, anything that Caucasian people do that some people might find positive, we don't really copy that. Drinking and smoking, acting silly. We want to be a singer and dancer. Oh, I'm sorry, Terry. We want to be a singer and dancer. We want to be a congressperson. Anything they do, we want to copy. But other things, like create a state. Matter of fact, we're not creating the state. The only thing we want to do is take control of the state. We don't want to do nothing like that. But we want to do all this other crazy stuff. We want to create gangs, all types of, we want to have orgies, any type of negative things, we copy. So I know it was just a matter of time before you will begin to see soul brothers and sisters, not sisters yet, but you will begin to see soul brothers attack schools. The children, those young people will begin to copy the pinks, and you will see what you see in predominantly Caucasian schools. You're going to see our children turn around and want to do the same stuff. Always copy. But see, the thing about that also is it's not the fact that we don't want to be constructive, but in the United States of America, as anybody can really know, and they must bear witness, there are obstacles in our way. We can't get the bank loans. We have to overcome redlining and gentrification. How you say that word? We got all these different things that we have to deal with. Being discriminated against because we are dark-skinned people. All these different things. We have problems in being constructive, but there are no obstacles in our way when we act a fool. You need a gun, we give you a gun. You need some alcohol, you need some drugs. You want to have an orgy, you want some pornography? They don't have no problem when you're doing that. But when you start talking about, let us, yeah, I can't pronounce that to save my life. Regentrification. Yeah. But when you start talking about taking control of a state, when you start talking about isolation, then that's when folks start looking at you different. When I was a young person, I was a young person at one time. Yeah, I was. Can you believe that? Yeah. Yeah. Despite the gray, I was a young person too at one time. And 40 years ago, 45 some years ago, when I was growing up, I lived in a whole different situation. It was a long time before I actually saw Caucasian people. I didn't see a lot of Caucasian people when I was growing up. I went to an all-black school, also brother and sister school. Matter of fact, when I was growing up, I don't think the word soul people was, they didn't use that yet. I don't think. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't remember. But when I was growing up, soul brothers and sisters had a whole different mindset because we were segregated. We wasn't part of the general population. So we was doing things different and we had a different mindset. And when I was growing up, people was more neighborly. When I was growing up as a child, all the adults basically looked after you. They watch you. Most adults, even the drunk, if you was doing something crazy, the guy could be drunk out of his mind. Hey boy, ain't you such and such son? I'm gonna go tell. You know, adults was watching over the children. I didn't have to, when I was growing up, I didn't have to worry about, and I didn't worry about pedophiles and all this other stuff that many children have to deal with today. I'm pretty sure all those things went on. Incest, I'm pretty sure that went on when I was growing up. I didn't know nothing about it, but incest and men beating up on women, that was going on. A lot of things was going on, but you really didn't hear about it, and a lot of things was kept away from children. So I didn't know about a lot of things. But overall, we looked at each other differently. You didn't have to ask nobody for nothing. When they saw that somebody didn't have something, hey, don't you need a coat? Don't you need some shoes? You know, we would help one another when I was growing up. But now, 40, 50 years later, I don't live too far from Ferguson, Missouri, where Michael Brown was shot down in the street. And you know that in Ferguson, Missouri, they had all those protests for all those nights. I am Michael Brown. I am Michael Brown. So I'm walking through Ferguson, Missouri, and I'm saying, hello, how you doing? And especially among the younger people, they look at you like you crazy. They act like, what you looking at me for? I didn't say nothing to you. Wow. Didn't y'all just, I don't understand it. Didn't y'all just riot over this senseless shooting? But y'all don't have no love for each other? What was the uproar for? You really didn't have no love for Mike Brown? What was the reason? What was the reason for that? For this uprising? Wow. Our people have become materialistic. I got to have. I remember growing up, I didn't hear a lot of that talk. I want to win the lottery. I need some money. I want to go to college so I can get me some money. I want material things. I didn't hear a lot of that. When people was going to college, it was really for education. I want to know. I want to better myself. It wasn't so I can get a job and make $50,000, $100,000 a year. I want to know. I want an education. That's what it was about. It was about education. Now it's about, I want all this money. I want a big house. I want a Mercedes-Benz in the driveway. And a lot of our people during the time when I was growing up, they wanted education. They want to do themselves better so they could help our people in the community. That's what they wanted to do. They bring that education back. They bring what they learned back and try to build their community. Now I want to get the hell out of my community. The hell with them Negroes. Let me try to live in the same neighborhood with Terry Ellis. Let me live in the same neighborhood with Invo. That's what I want to do. The hell with them. I want to be rich. That's what it's all about. Material. Selfish, and we arrogant. You can't tell us nothing. I remember at one time you could really talk with us and have a decent conversation. Now we're so arrogant and know-it-alls and all this. Where is this behavior coming from? Because it definitely, when I was growing up, I know it existed, but it wasn't on this type of level. In my family, there was materialism. There were people who was materialistic, maybe that I know of, maybe about 2 or 3. But the majority of them, they were just happy living life. I'm going to say that again. See, when I was growing up, my people was basically just happy being alive. And I had a couple of uncles and some other people. They wanted to get the high-paying jobs at Ford and Chevy or whatever, so they can live this life that they see pink people do. And that's the topic that I've chosen today. This sick mentality, this influence that it seems as though, well, it's not seems as, but the Caucasian people have gotten this mentality, this materialistic mentality, and have built a world on the physical. And it is driving everybody mad because you never get enough. You don't want one car. You can only drive one car. You got 5 cars in the driveway. You can only live in one house. You got 5 houses all over the country. You trying to get one house in every state in the union. We've gone mad with material crap. We want the United States, but we want all these other pieces of land that we can call the United States. Actually, we want the whole earth. And that was the purpose of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party. They wanted the whole planet, period. And in reality, that's what the United States want. In reality, many large nations, if they could do it, that's what they want. They want everybody to be like them and take over the world. Like that little rat, the brain from Pinky and the Brain. What we gonna do today, Pinky? We gonna take over the world. That's what it's all about. I want more. You never get enough. You never get enough. And then you call yourself a Christian. If you believe in that God, if you believe in Christianity, then that is what is called is greed. That is extreme greed. More than you would ever need. Well, I pass it down to you. You got more than your generations need. It's pure, unadulterated, pure deep greed. And then you want to, you want to hoard everything, and then you want to snob your nose down to everybody that don't have. You taking it all. They can't have. You greedy son of a, you want to take it all. You don't want nobody to have nothing. You know, I saw some puppies. Excuse me. I saw some puppies. And one puppy was bigger than the other because that puppy knocked all his brothers and sisters out the way so he can get the best, nipple. And then when the puppies got bigger, there was a bowl of dog food and all the puppies come running so they can eat. This dog, this puppy, now this is a puppy. This puppy took his body, put it over the bowl so all the other puppies couldn't eat nothing so he could have all the dog food to himself. This is a puppy. This is the mentality of a people is showing that influence the world. And here you are with the mind of a puppy, supposed to be a human being, and you influence the whole world with this greedy attitude that a dog has. As a human being, you think you should be able to operate and think better. And then you give Here you are, you have $100 billion and you give away 50,000 and you thinking you're doing somebody a favor. See, I'm so charitable. You greedy son of a woo. And you don't see nothing wrong with that? Caucasian people, you don't think that there's not something wrong with that type of sickness, and you build a civilization and a world based on that? So I had a person, well, not a person. I had a young Caucasian guy. I don't know how old he is. I would guess late 20s, early 30s. He calls himself, I had him on last Sunday. He calls himself the common sense guy. And I told him what equality is. Equality is if I have a magic marker and you have one magic marker, that's equality. If you have 3 magic markers and I have 1 magic marker, that's not equal. When you have a mentality like that, you cannot comprehend a society based on equality, because your mind, you're filled with greed. You can't even comprehend a world, building a world based upon equality. You can't even comprehend it, because I gotta have mine. I work hard for mine. Mine, it's all mine. Everything is mine. You're mine. I want Terry, I want Cindy, and I want Rona. I want everything. I want every woman in the world. I heard a rap song. I want every woman in the world. He can't just have 1 or 2. I want them all. I want them all. I want all. Y'all don't see? Y'all don't see that there's something wrong with that mentality? Oh, man. Look. In the world, that the Caucasian people, and I must say Caucasian people, the Europeans have influenced the earth. This is a fact. This is reality. All over the planet. If they did not conquer it, they influence it. So they did not conquer China. They tried. Believe me, they tried. But China is influenced by Europeans. India, the Arabs, anywhere, all the people are influenced by the Europeans, because they are in a very influential, powerful seat on the earth among humanity. But the problem is you have a sick mentality, because success is materialism. Success is based on what you can get, what you got. And what you get and what you got, it don't make no difference how you get it, as long as you get it at all costs. Now, sometimes certain things are supposed to be illegal, like when you sell drugs or whatever, you get rich. But see, the problem is not what you get, the problem is not what you get, what you buy with your drug money. The problem is you're not supposed to be doing drugs. But being greedy and living this materialistic life, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's why people want to sell drugs. That's why they do an illegal activity. Because if they can't do it the legal way, then I'm going to do it the wrong way. That's why I want to do it, because I want to be successful. I want to be part of the success. I want to be material just like you. I'm rich. Maybe I did not create Microsoft, but I'm rich just like you, Bill Gates. There's a problem in building a society or a civilization based on material greed, and it's done at all costs. All your wars, the majority of your wars, has nothing to do with the liberation of Jews, trying to free somebody from oppression. All of them was based on what can I get? What you got? It's based on those things. Material, oil, and diamonds, and gold, and silver, and even even human labor. I'm fighting over slaves. Not only a physical slave like my ancestors was, but when you go to work every day and do these 9 to 5, you are in a slave-like condition. Same type of thing. They pay you a little money, and you feel good because you can get some of your material crap, so you can feel successful. You don't feel like a slave because you can wear a diamond, and you can wear a pearl, and maybe you can hire somebody to clean your floor, so you don't feel like a slave. But that's what it's all about. That's what all the wars was all about. Wasn't about freedom. All these veterans sitting in these graves, you did not fight for freedom, justice, and equality. You fought for oil and diamonds and human labor and those type of things. That's what you died for. But because you are mindless, because you don't think for yourself, because a world was built so they can exploit you, there you go. And you thinking you're doing a good thing, and you're not. Everything, the society that the Caucasian European people have built is based on the physical. It's based on the physical. Has nothing to do with what some people may view as the spiritual. You see them in church and they sing their song, glory, glory, oh, the Christian soldiers. That's the closest to spirituality they're going to get, is trying to sing a song in a church. But they're not interested in the Bible. They're not if they was interested in the Bible, there would be no slavery. Slavery would never have happened to begin with. That's just a front. Their civilization lifestyle is based on the physical. That's why they always naked. You can't keep, Caucasian people can't keep their clothes on. At the same time, remember, to be a civilized person means you must wear clothes. That's what they call the native people. They ain't wearing no clothes. They ain't wearing no clothes. They savages. But here you are in 2018, these Caucasian people, you more naked than anybody ever was. With the little string, you got the women running around with the string in their backside. I'm sexy. I'm just so sexy. With a string covering your butt, and you run around and you brag about your physical, show your muscles, let's get in shape. And you have all these commercials talking about building your muscles, working your biceps, let's stay in shape. The physical. You don't see them concentrating on what some may call the spiritual, the mind. That's why they are obsessed with pornography. Let me see your dang-a-lang. Let me see your poo-poo. It's all about the physical pleasure, chasing physical pleasure, physical things, the material things, non-spiritual. That's why they love to get drunk. That's why you love to get high. And they influence the world, all over the world. People are drunkards, drug addicts, porn addicts. It's all in the physical. There is no education. There is no attempt to deal with the mind, because if you built up the mind, it will leave the physical. Let me say that again. If you build up the mind, it will leave the physical plane, and you're no longer interested in all these material things. And see, that's what success is, according to what the Caucasian people, this world they have built. I noticed, and I've seen a perfect example of this in my discussion with the common sense guy. And of course, I'm pretty sure, we really didn't get into it, but I'm very sure that seeking material things, he's all right with that. He's all right with that. Well, if you work hard You know, give me all I got. A lot of these things these people got, they did not work hard for. Ever heard of slavery? They got it because somebody else worked hard. Ever heard of the minimum wage? Somebody else is working hard so that you can live all richified. Look here. When I was talking with the common sense guy, and he's a prime example, and he's sincere, and he really thinks that there's nothing wrong with him. But look at this. And he was a prime example. If you watch that talk that I had with the common sense guy, he's an example of the average Caucasian person, because they don't think nothing is wrong with this world that they have created and how they influence humanity all over this planet. They think this is cool. This is the way it's supposed to go. Caucasian people never accept responsibility for what they do. You never hear them say, well, we was wrong. They have never apologized for slavery or nothing of evil they have done. They have never apologized to the Native American people, which they can't because they no longer exist. According to my research, there was at least 700, there was at least 700 tribes in North America here before the Caucasian Europeans came. Where are they? We can barely name 5 or 10. I know I can't barely name 5. What happened to the 700? They killed them. They either outright killed them, or disease that they put out into the environment, the disease murdered them. What they call that? Disease warfare. What's the word for that? They use a disease as a weapon. That's what they done. Give you a perfect, simple example of the mentality of Caucasian people like the common sense guy. You have a car accident. The common sense guy hit my car. Okay? Right. Now, look. So, he is responsible for the damages to my car. But the mentality of Caucasian people have, you can fix your car. That's not the issue. The problem, sir, is you hit my car. It makes no difference if I can fix my car. You hit my car. You have a responsibility for fixing my car. You caused slavery. You caused slavery. You done that. You have a responsibility to fix it. It makes no difference whether I can fix it or not. You have a responsibility to fix it. They do not want to accept responsibility for what they do. They always justify everything that I was bringing to him. He tried to justify, well, you can do this. I can, well, you know, you can do this and you can do that. What about you? You're the one that caused it. The reason why I'm complaining, the reason why I'm hurt, the reason why I am in pain is because of you. And he keep telling me, well, that was a long time ago. Probably because you didn't take responsibility to fix it. You did not, your people did not take responsibility to fix what the damage that they caused. You're gonna put it on the victim. They don't never want to take responsibility. You are the one that tore up the car, not me. Well, that's an old car. That car don't belong to you anyway. It makes no difference. I was driving the car, and it's your responsibility to fix it. And last but not least, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to end it on this point. Y'all need to think about this. I did not say nothing hateful. I did not say nothing hateful at all, period. I'm telling you the truth. You can only bear witness. This is your mindset. This is your attitude. This is a sickness You have to look at the man in the mirror. That's why you don't like to look at and hear about what a lot of dark-skinned people say, because it's like looking at the man in the mirror and you don't want to accept the responsibility for what you done. Well, I didn't do nothing. Well, tell your government to fix it. You know who done the damage. It has to be fixed. One thing which is so sad is that a lot of Caucasian people don't want to see soul brothers and sisters get reparations because they think that the soul brothers and sisters is getting something they don't deserve. Well, see, look, when you go to court, the purpose of going to court is not to make you rich. The purpose of going to court is to make you whole. If my mother is killed, if I'm 5 years old and my mother is killed in an automobile car wreck, then I am awarded as a child. See, I'm a victim. You killed my mother. So I am awarded damages, pain and suffering, and all those different things, and the income my mother would have made if she had lived. And you get this, and it's according to who you are, you can get this in a lump sum, 40 million. Oh, you know, somebody got to take care of me. My mother probably would have sent me to college. My college education has to be taken. It's supposed to make you whole. It is not my fault that these devils in this country enslaved my people for 300 years. So you got over 300, 400 years of damage. That's not my fault. I have nothing to do with that. You need to go talk to your forefathers and the government that is in charge, which they don't want to talk about it because they already know. You the silly one. You the silly one. You don't want to accept the reality of what your people done. Now let me end this conversation on this note. Caucasian people, especially the men, especially the racist Caucasian pink male, he's childish. Silly people. I was just watching Donald Trump. Donald Trump is your leader in this country. He's going back and forth with North Korea. And just this week, he was talking about, he was responding to North Korea or whatever. And he's going to tell, now, the North Koreans can be childish. That's cool. You don't have to be childish. You don't have to be childish. But Donald Trump going to tell the leader of North Korea, yeah, you got some nuclear weapons, but America, we got the biggest and we the baddest or whatever. See, that's crazy stuff that men do. Now, I don't want to be vulgar or nasty, but let me tell you, let me give you an example of the mentality, the sick mentality of men. When I was growing up, see, but when I was growing up in the locker room as a teenager, you know, you had teenagers, they used to play the penis game. And boys would get together, my penis bigger than yours, and you know, I'm like, ooh, how sickening. But that's how childish, because I want to show you I'm a bigger man, I'm a stronger male. See, mine is bigger than yours. Donald Trump telling this man, see, mine is bigger than yours. This is what you're following. This is what, he's a leader. This is what you're following. This is your example. I would say this. See, look, you have to look at the man in the mirror. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, as a student of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I come from that type of background, I was taught that the white man is the devil. I was not taught to hate white people. The Nation of Islam do not teach to hate white people. In fact, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that He did teach that the white man is the devil, but he said, understand what you're dealing with. You cannot help it. They cannot help it. This is just the way they are. You cannot hate a dog for barking. Dogs bark. You cannot hate a cat for meow meow. You cannot do that. It's not about hate. It's about understanding who you're dealing with. So since I know that I'm dealing with a childish person, that I know I'm dealing with somebody who will not accept responsibility for what they do, that believes success is materialistic, I have to understand who I'm dealing with. Just like you have people who understand a snake. You have people, they understand a snake so good, they can charm a snake. And dealing with a snake, if you're not careful, a snake can bite you and kill you, which that's what has been happening to dark-skinned people for the last 500 years. At the same time, if you learn how to charm that snake and learn how to deal with that snake in a survival situation, you can eat a snake to survive. It's all about your mentality and understanding of the situation that you're in. So it's not about hatred. It's about understanding the reality of what we're dealing with. I understand the mentality. The common sense guy, and just like this fella that's in the chat room that's writing all this garbage, they have a certain mentality. And unfortunately, in a lot of cases, when you're dealing with a wild animal, they have a wild animal type of mentality. Sometimes you're just gonna have to fight for yours, because that wild animal, when he sees you, they are out for blood. And you have to defend yourself. That's just the bottom line. There is no changing their mentality. The common sense guy told me, I'm trying to understand. He's not trying to understand anything. He already has his mindset, and all the things that I have described is already part of him. That's how he thinks. This is the way he was brought up. This is how he was raised from birth. This is just the way they are. It's not about hate. It's about understanding who you're dealing with. And when you understand what you're dealing with, you can walk among snakes. Now, is it a possibility that they can be different? Yes. But they are in the minority. The reason why we are in the situation that we're in, because of the majority. The common sense guy is part of the majority with this mindset that I just described. Not going to help you none. And they are the ones that are in control. They are the ones who are in power and influence the world. You have to learn how to deal with them. They are not going to change. Before he even began to talk, I already know his mindset. So, all thing I can do is say, it's sad. You know, it's sad when some animals have to kill. See, look, some animals have to kill in order to live. They have no choice. That's just how they are. They have to drink blood. They have to eat meat. It's sad, but that's just how they are. It's sad. But unfortunately, this is our reality. You're dealing with a people who have to kill. They have to drink blood in order to survive. And if you're not careful, if you don't understand them, then you will be their victim. And we have been victim going on 500 years. But that time is over. It's over. It's time that these children, it's time for these children to come out of power. It's time for real men and women to get these children out of power, because that's what they are. They're nothing but children. It's just like if you let your children in your house, let them do whatever the hell they want to. But see, it's time now that the adults rise and send these children to their room. You understand? I hope you do. With that said, I really want to keep this talk under an hour, and I have done that. But I will, if there's a question or a comment or something, I will continue to talk, really. If somebody want to come into the chat room, I put the link there. If you want to talk and say something, you can come into the talk. Myosha, you can come in the chat room. You can come into the chat room. Let me check my Facebook. Let me see if anybody in my Facebook. No, I don't expect nobody in my Facebook because I really don't advertise a whole lot there. They will come later on. Yeah. So oh, Mims, you there? I see your avatar, Mim.
Hey, Angel, what's going on, my friend?
Well, how you doing there, sir? I guess you're gonna force me to go over an hour, right?
Not necessarily. We got like 9 minutes. Man. We got like 9 minutes.
I mean, it's all right, you know, because my weekend is. Myosha, why don't you come to the chat room? She want to be shy. How you doing? Mims, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right, man. Hey, I'm existing, man. I'm existing, brother. But it's very interesting because I remember the first time I had heard about you, I started doing a little research. And I'm looking, I'm like, this man seems to be the most banned and like everybody's hating on him. So I'm like, when somebody's taking flack from all sides, I'm like, all right, so what's going on here? I have questions. They must be doing something right. So and like originally I was told, like, well, here's the thing, man. The way it was introduced, what was it, Mr. Ogre, he's like, hey, I would like you to debate a quote unquote a black supremacist. And I'm like, oh, all right. And then all of a sudden, like a day or so, he's like, well, no, he's not actually a black supremacist. He's a black nationalist, quote unquote, again. And I'm like, all right. And then you know what happened, man. You popped into the chat. We started talking a little bit. I'm like, no, this is just another dude, man. He's just another dude that has his own life experience and everything. And I'm just, I don't know, man. All I know is a lot of the folks I'll hang out with, they'll poke fun at me. They'll call me different names. And you know what? Hey, whatever. It's in folks' nature. But I mean, hey, I don't need to tell you that because I did listen to your discussion the other day, man. And it's like, okay, yeah, points were made and stuff like that. And to be fair, often I'm held in very often disagreement with a lot of the folks I hang out with. But hey, it's just, that's based upon what I've seen in life, how I kind of understand and everything. And it's just like, I don't know, man. Like you said, I don't sense hatred. I don't sense venom. I sense love from this man. Do I agree with you on everything? Hell no. Freaking, I don't agree with everybody on absolutely everything. That's just life. We're all individuals, man.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know certain folks I hang out around with, like, they've had heated discussions with you and everything. And I think that's kind of what was at the crux the other day. Because I remember it was at least 3 times with the common sense guy. You asked him, why are you here?
Right.
And his response was, he's like, well, I want to learn. He's like, I would like to everything. And it's just, even like talking with other folks, it's like, I believe he came here to debate. And it's like, I feel like if he had said it, and I've had this conversation with several other folks, I'm like, I'm going to go debate this person. I'm like, and then they'll say the word conversation. I'm like, well, is it a conversation or is it a debate? Because those are 2 different things. If it's a debate, then it's like, all right, we are planning to argue about things. Okay, that's fine. But if you're coming in to have a conversation with somebody, especially like if it's in someone's house or even if it's their channel or something like that, it's like, that's your place and everything. So it's like, maybe you should be a little respectful and everything. That's kind of where I'm coming from. And like some folks will say, well, and it's like, you know what? Hey, if we disagree, we disagree. It's like you said, man, we all have either different natures and again, like where we came from and everything. And dude, humans are complicated, man. We're freaking complicated creatures. That's the thing I've learned in my 34 years on this planet. And it's just, I don't know. I think we need to be a bit more genuine. It's just, we disagree. I don't know. Well, that was the thing that boggled my mind. A lot of the times, like, it just seemed like you guys were getting hung up on semantics and stuff like that. I'm like, you said that it's like, well, I ain't really a big fan of like, I ain't pleading for reparations or anything like that. And then he's like, but you're like, no, but I get the folks that do. And then you just kind of argue. I'm like, you guys don't even disagree. You're just arguing to arguing. And it's just like, for me, like, I prefer to see a better path forward where it's kind of like you said, it's like the sheer fact that like there's homeless people on the streets of America like that. That fucking bothers me. It's like the richest nation on the world. It's just like, my brother brought that up the other day. He's like, because like folks feel like very often for like the disabled or like older folks and stuff like that. That's like the homeless get just, I don't know, man. It's tough, man. And I see we have a Mr. Mose who I believe there was some disagreement with. But I have spoken with Mose before, and he is a decent understanding guy. So maybe he could have a few words here, if it's all right.
Yeah. First of all, if you can you hear me, guys?
Yes, I heard you.
Excellent. First of all, I just want to say thank you, Mr. Reality. That is, in my mind, what I'm going to call you. Angel snub nubs and all that. But it's just, thank you for opening up your chat and allowing Mr. Memes in, because Mr. Memes, to me, is such a cool, laid-back, intelligent dude who I absolutely respect his opinion on everything. I'm not necessarily here to have discussion, argue, conversation. I just wanted to grab that tag of actually been on one of your live streams, sir, because I